Okay. What is the Great Tribulation? The tribulation is a future time period when the Lord will accomplish at least two aspects of his plan. One, he will complete his discipline of the nation Israel. Daniel chapter 9 verse 24. And two, he will judge the unbelieving, godless inhabitants of the earth. Revelation chapter 6 to 18. The length of the tribulation is 7 years. This is determined by an understanding of the 70 weeks of Daniel. Daniel chapter 9 verse 24 to 27. Also see the article on the tribulation. The Great Tribulation is the last half of the tribulation period. 3.5 years in length. It is distinguished from the tribulation period because the beast or Antichrist will be revealed and the wrath of God will greatly intensely during this time. It is important at this point to embrace that the tribulation and the Great Tribulation are not terms within eschatology. The study of future things, the tribulation refers to the full 7-year period, while the Great Tribulation refers to the second half of the tribulation. It is Christ himself who used the pause, Great Tribulation, with referred to the last half of the tribulation in Matthew 24 verse 21. Jesus says, "For then there will be great tribulation, such as has not occurred since the beginning of the world until now, nor ever shall." And in this verse, Jesus is referring to the event of Matthew 24 verse 15, which describes the revealing of the abomination of desolation, the man also known as the Antichrist. Also, Jesus in Matthew chapter 24 verse 29 to 30 states, "Immediately after the tribulation of those days, the Son of Man will appear in the sky, and then all the tribes of the earth will mourn, and they will see the Son of Man coming on the clouds of the sky with power and great glory." And in this passage, Jesus defiles the Great Tribulation, verse 21, as beginning with the revealing of the abomination of desolation. In verse 15, and ending with Christ's second coming, verse 30. Verse 30. Other passages that refer to the Great Tribulation are Daniel chapter 12, verse 1, which says, "And there will be a time of distress such as never occurred since there was a nation until that time." It seems that Jesus was quoting this verse when he spoke the words recorded in Matthew 24 verse 21. Also referring to the Great Tribulation is Jeremiah chapter 30 verse 7. "Aleph, for that day is great, there is none like it, and is the time of Jacob's distress, but he will be saved from it." The pause Jacob distress refers to the nation of Israel, which will experience persecution and natural disasters such as have never before been seen. Considering the information Christ gave us in Matthew chapter 24 verse 15 to 30, it is easy to conclude that the beginning of the Great Tribulation has much to do with the abomination of desolation and an acting of the Antichrist. In Daniel chapter 9 verse 26 to 27, we find that this man will make a covenant of peace pact with the world for 7 years. 1 week. Again, see the article of the tribulation halfway through the 7-year period, in the middle of the week, we are told this man will break the covenant he made, stopping sacrifice and grain offerings, which specifically refer to his actions in the rebuilt temple of the future. Revelation chapter 13 from 1 to 10 gives an even more detailed concerning the beast's actions, and just as important, it also verifies the length of the time he will be in power. Revelation 13:5 says, he will be in power for 42 months, which is 1.5 years, the length of the Great Tribulation. Revelation offers us the most information about the Great Tribulation from Revelation 13, when the beast is revealed, until Christ returns in Revelation 13. Revelation 13, when the beast is revealed, until Christ returns in Revelation 19, we are given a picture of God's wrath on the earth because of unbelief and rebellion. Revelation 6 to 18. It is also a picture of how God disciplines and at the same time protects his people, Israel. Revelation 14:1 to 5. Until he keeps his promise to Israel by establishing an earthly kingdom. Revelation chapter 20, verse 4 to 6. Thanks for watching.